If you are a man over 50 years old and every night you have to get up several times just to go to the bathroom, your urine stream is getting weaker, or you constantly feel like you have not completely emptied your bladder, even though you just finished, then this is something you absolutely need to hear. Because there is one type of food that most American men still eat every single day. A food that seems harmless, even good for your health, but in reality, it is silently damaging your prostate day by day. My name is Dr. Titan Gray. I am a men's health specialist with more than 10 years of clinical experience. Over the years, I have met thousands of men, exhausted, frustrated, and even hopeless because they believed that a full night's sleep and a satisfying sex life were things of the past. But when we stopped treating the symptoms and started focusing on the biological root of prostate inflammation, something amazing happened. They began to regain their sleep, their confidence, and their youthful vitality. When you make the right changes, your body naturally activates its own powerful healing ability, something no pill can ever do. In this video, I will reveal why 3 seemingly harmless foods are actually destroying your prostate health, even if you think you are eating a perfectly balanced diet. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because what you are about to hear is not just another dietary tip. It is a roadmap that will help you regain control of your body, restore your masculine strength, and enjoy deep, uninterrupted sleep every single night.
Part 1. What you need to know about the prostate. The prostate is an extremely sensitive organ that reacts to everything happening around it, especially to what you eat. Every meal can either nourish its recovery or add more fuel to the fire of inflammation. When you constantly consume saturated fats, refined sugar, and processed dairy, your immune system responds by creating low-grade, silent inflammation. Over time, that slow-burning fire causes the prostate tissue to grow excessively, blocking the urinary flow and making recovery increasingly difficult. The good news is you can completely reverse this process. By identifying and eliminating the hidden triggers in your diet, your body will have the chance to reduce inflammation, allowing your prostate to naturally shrink, improving your urinary flow and bringing back your confidence, your vitality, and your deep, restful sleep. When your prostate starts to suffer damage, the cells inside it try to protect themselves by triggering an inflammatory response. At first, this is your body's natural healing mechanism. But if the process continues day after day, inflammation becomes chronic, and that very inflammation begins to stimulate abnormal cell growth. The result is an enlarged prostate pressing against the urethra, causing the all-too-familiar symptoms that so many men struggle with: a weak urine stream, the constant feeling of not being able to empty your bladder completely, and having to wake up multiple times during the night.
Part 2. The deadly trio for your prostate. Number 1. The number one enemy: milk and dairy products. I know this might sound surprising, because for decades we have all been told that milk builds strong bones and keeps the body healthy. But for men over 50, especially those dealing with prostate inflammation or enlargement, milk can quietly turn into a hidden poison. Scientific evidence supports this. A large-scale review found a direct connection between regular dairy consumption and an increased risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. Why does this happen? There are 2 main reasons, and both deserve your full attention. First, the extremely high calcium content in milk can disrupt your hormonal balance by lowering vitamin D levels, a vital nutrient that helps regulate healthy cell growth. Second, cow's milk contains natural growth hormones, known as IGF-1, which are meant to help calves grow rapidly. When these hormones enter the body of an adult man, IGF-1 can stimulate excessive cell growth in the prostate, especially in cells that are already inflamed or prone to enlargement. When these 2 mechanisms repeat day after day through every glass of milk, every slice of cheese, or every cup of yogurt, your prostate becomes irritated, inflamed, and swollen, making its natural healing process nearly impossible.
That is why, if you are truly serious about restoring balance to your body, cutting back or completely eliminating milk and dairy products is one of the smartest and most effective steps you can take starting today. I want you to clearly understand this. We are not talking about an occasional glass of milk or a weekend barbecue. What truly harms you is the accumulation over the years, the repeated choices that keep your prostate mildly inflamed for decades. It is that very consistency that silently destroys your health. 2. The second enemy, red meat. Red meat, especially fatty cuts and processed types like sausages, bacon, or deli meats, can become a serious threat when consumed regularly. When these meats are cooked at high temperatures, such as grilling over charcoal, frying, or roasting, your body is exposed to a range of dangerous inflammatory compounds. Among them are saturated fats, which raise levels of bad cholesterol and trigger inflammation, Heim iron, a form of iron found in red meat that can activate free radicals and damage cells, and toxic compounds formed during high-temperature cooking, such as heterocyclic amines, or HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, both proven to cause cell mutations and increase the risk of prostate enlargement. All of these factors directly affect prostate tissue, turning inflammation into a chronic condition and creating the perfect environment for abnormal cell growth.
3. The third enemy, refined sugar. I am talking about the everyday items you often find in a typical American kitchen. Cookies, cakes, sodas, sugary breakfast cereals, white bread, or any kind of food that causes your blood sugar to spike within minutes. Every time that happens, your body has to release a surge of insulin to bring the sugar levels down, and the result is a widespread inflammatory reaction. Over time, this not only damages your blood vessels and nerve cells, but also creates the perfect environment for prostate inflammation to grow stronger. Think of it this way: milk, processed red meat, and refined sugar are like three steady fuel lines constantly feeding the fire of chronic inflammation inside your prostate. If you want that fire to die out, you must cut off its fuel supply. Eliminating, or at least drastically reducing, these three groups of foods is not just a smart decision, it is absolutely essential if you truly want your prostate to heal. 3. The third enemy, refined sugar. I am talking about the everyday items you often find in a typical American kitchen. Cookies, cakes, sodas, sugary breakfast cereals, white bread, or any kind of food that causes your blood sugar to spike within minutes. Every time that happens, your body has to release a surge of insulin to bring the sugar levels down, and the result is a widespread inflammatory reaction. Over time, this not only damages your blood vessels and nerve cells, but also creates the perfect environment for prostate inflammation to grow stronger. Think of it this way: milk, processed red meat, and refined sugar are like three steady fuel lines constantly feeding the fire of chronic inflammation inside your prostate. If you want that fire to die out, you must cut off its fuel supply. Eliminating, or at least drastically reducing, these three groups of foods is not just a smart decision, it is absolutely essential if you truly want your prostate to heal.
To help you see this more clearly, I want to tell you about William, one of the most memorable patients I have ever had. William was a 66-year-old retired teacher, lively and full of humor, but he came to me completely exhausted and hopeless. He told me he had to wake up as many as 5 times every night just to urinate. During the day, he was so drained that he barely had enough energy to enjoy life. He even avoided going out, always worried he might not find a restroom in time. When I reviewed his eating habits, I noticed a very familiar pattern. For breakfast, a bowl of cereal with whole milk. For lunch, a sandwich with deli meat and cheese. For for dinner, red meat several times a week. I explained to William how those seemingly harmless choices were actually fueling inflammation in his body every single day. Then I guided him through a simple but life-changing strategy. Replace whole milk with unsweetened almond milk in the morning. Cut red meat down to once a week and load up on leafy greens like spinach, kale, broccoli, and plenty of berries. At first, William was skeptical. He shrugged and said to me, "Doctor, that sounds way too simple. Can it really make a difference?" I smiled and replied, "Just try it for 30 days. Your body will give you the answer." 3 weeks later, my phone rang. On the other end was William, his voice filled with surprise, almost disbelief. "Doctor, last night I only woke up once. My urine stream is stronger and I slept through the night, something I have not done in years." I could hear the genuine joy in his voice, not just because of the relief, but because he had regained a sense of control over his own body. It was as if he had discovered a powerful secret, something that had always been right in front of him, but he had never been shown how to see it. That is the true power of nourishing your body the right way. No extreme diets, no harsh sacrifices, just conscious daily choices. Foods that calm inflammation and support your prostate's natural ability to restore its own balance.
What happened to William was not a miracle. It was pure science, biology working the way it is meant to when activated correctly. When you stop pouring fuel on the fire with inflammatory foods, your body naturally switches on its repair and recovery mode. And I have witnessed this simple transformation hundreds of times in men who dared to make small but consistent changes every single day. The key lies in simplicity. Do not try to overhaul your entire diet overnight. That will only leave you discouraged. Instead, start with just one thing. Choose one of the 3 enemies: milk, red meat, or refined sugar, and completely cut it out for 30 days. If milk is your weakness, replace it with unsweetened almond milk, oat milk, or coconut milk. If red meat is the habit you struggle to break, try fish, skinless chicken breast, or plant-based proteins like lentils and chickpeas. If refined sugar is your temptation, say goodbye to sodas, candies, and white bread. Instead, go for fresh fruit, sparkling water, and whole grains. This is not about restriction. It is about smart exchange. You are not losing anything. You are simply changing the way your body experiences health and energy.
The secret is not in perfection, it is in consistency. I always tell my patients, take small but steady steps, and never forget to nourish your body with foods that truly have healing power. Add to your diet vegetables that are rich in antioxidants and lycopene, such as well-cooked ripe tomatoes, spinach, broccoli, and kale. These are not just healthy foods. They are natural anti-inflammatory warriors that help shrink the prostate, protect your cells from oxidative damage, and gently but powerfully support hormonal balance. And here is a truth that so many people overlook. This is not about self-denial. It is about self-empowerment. Now imagine this. After just 30 days of following this approach, even if you have only changed one single habit, you may feel a noticeable difference. Not only fewer nightly trips to the bathroom, but more daytime energy, deeper sleep, a more stable mood, less overall inflammation, and even an improved sex life thanks to better blood flow and restored hormonal balance. This is the moment you begin to rewrite your own health story. You are the main character, the one taking action, not the one merely enduring. I have seen so many men come to me tired, doubtful, even embarrassed after trying everything without results. But after just 30 days, they return with a completely different look in their eyes, brighter, more confident. They sit up straighter, their voices are stronger, and their smiles come easier. Even before they say a word, I already know their bodies have started to heal themselves. When you drastically reduce inflammatory foods for just 1 month,
the benefits ripple throughout your entire body. The prostate is simply the first place where you begin to feel that change. Fewer nighttime bathroom trips, a stronger urine flow, and that satisfying sense of being completely empty.
Today, you are holding in your hands the most important pieces to reclaim your prostate health, and beyond that, to regain the vitality of your entire life. This is not a trend or a marketing gimmick. This is the real foundation of long-term men's health. The path that brings your body back to the natural balance it has always been craving. I have dedicated my entire career to helping men restore their strength, energy, and confidence, and I can say this with complete sincerity: it is never too late to begin. You do not need to be perfect, and you do not need to change everything overnight. You just need to take the first step and keep going. Because I know that nutrition is the most powerful tool for restoring health, I want you to give your body this chance. Just one small change, one healthier meal, one simple act of kindness toward your body can open the door to a freer, stronger, and more fulfilling life. If this message gives you hope or something valuable, please like, share, and leave a comment below. I read every single one, because your voice could be the light that guides thousands of other men who are searching for the same opportunity. I am Dr. Titan Gray, and I want you to remember one final truth. Your body has never abandoned you. There is still a deep well of strength within you, waiting for the right signal to awaken once again. And that moment is today.